Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Geoff Gordon, the Executive Director of the Fuse Commercial Flooring Alliance. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Kemp. It's always good to talk to you.
This is a light week. It's the 4th of July week, and I believe this is your first 4th of July since you've moved to Texas, right?
It sure is. We moved last September, and, of course, we love living here. There's an adjustment to the weather, of course. It's been very warm compared to California, but it's a great place to live. And the one thing I've learned, I travel a lot. And as a friend of mine once told me, it's easier to travel when you're at the 50-yard line instead of in the end zone. I mean, all the flights out of here are short and usually just one stop.
This is personal, but you've moved there with Karen, and you guys are getting married next month, right? Or this month.
Yeah, we're actually getting married in Las Vegas on the 15th of July, and we'll have her kids and grandkids and my kids and grandkids there and some other family. So we're super excited about that. She's great, and I'm certainly very lucky to have her in my life.
Let's talk first about business. Tell us what segments in the commercial sector are doing the best right now.
No, interestingly enough, our business is pretty good. I mean, we're running at about 10% ahead of last year so far. And I think there's a little bit of inflation in there, but in terms of the actual segments, healthcare continues to be the strongest, followed by educational and then multifamily.
And are you seeing any activity on the corporate workplace side?
Depends who I talk to on our network. Some people are telling me they haven't been that active there. You know, other areas of the country and other members are saying they've had pretty good activity. So, you know, you have these buildings that are not easy to convert into something else, and there's activity there, whether companies, tenants are growing or shrinking, and that causes changes in the floor covering and all that. So, you know, we think the business stops and starts. It's not terrible. There's definitely activity there.
I need to mention that you helped us with an article in our July issue, which comes out next Friday on succession planning. I know there's a lot of people that think about what they're going to do as they get ready to retire and transfer ownership. So that's a great article. Thanks for the help on that. I saw you just briefly at NeoCon. What are your observations from that show?
I thought it was very active. The show is definitely changing because you've got design days down the street at Fulton Market, and then you've got obviously everything that happens in the mart. But the one thing that I noted, which was interesting, even though it was a lot of traffic, is there weren't as many flooring manufacturers there as normal. One of the things that I did love about it, Kemp, is Chicago really for the first time felt back to normal since the pandemic. And you know, the excitement of the people there and the manufacturers were showing. I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, I can tell you, I can share some numbers with you. 10 years ago, NeoCon had about 38 flooring brands in the mart, and there was 11 of them in there this year. It's quite a change.
A huge difference.
All right, 1st of July, it's time to look at the second half of the year. What's Fuse focused on for the second half?
We're going to start a new initiative that I'm actually very excited about because the business is changing a little bit. And I say this, activity is still good. There's still a lot of work to bid. But, you know, our backlogs, which have been very large for a lot of reasons, pent-up demand, you know, projects moving along slowly because of the lack of labor. We're kind of working through those backlogs, and now you get to a point, okay, well, my backlog's gotten smaller, so what am I going to do now to build it back up? So we added Jerry Kenny almost a year ago to work on the operational side of our businesses, and he's been an unbelievable add for us. His big pitch is lean. You know, you have to run a company very lean to make sure you're maximizing your profitability. Well, the area now we're going to add to that is in the leadership and sales side, because we see as we transition from these big backlogs to wanting to find more business, you know, let's focus on a strategy of how do we grow the business? How do we find new customers? How do we satisfy our existing customers to maintain their businesses?
So as everything cycles, you're saying that it's time now for the commercial contractors to focus on business development, and you're putting together kind of a new program for that.
Exactly. In one of the areas the manufacturers focus on when they evaluate us is discretionary opportunity. And discretionary opportunity is the measure of how much business we're bringing them. And quite frankly, and really Mark Hutto, the president of our board, said it the best, you know, we haven't been really doing a lot of discretionary business because it's like pitch and catch. We've been catching, just trying to run the work we've had, get through these big backlogs. Well, now it's time to start pitching. So we feel very confident that our discretionary business is going to grow because we're going to have to help ourselves find more business. So the cycle's changing a little bit.
All right.
Starting in the fall, we do roundtables every month for the membership. The first one in the fall, we're going to call Common Sense Leadership. And again, this is back to that focus of sales and leadership, because one of the things when you read about it, a lot of people leave companies because of poor leadership. We're going to start this new program or initiative out talking about what it takes to be a good leader, how that's going to help you with recruitment of new people, retaining new people. So, we're very committed to making sure we bring programs to the members that are going to benefit their businesses. So I'm very excited about that.
You only meet once a year. So how do you get this information out to your members?
We do webinars almost every week, on Thursdays, and those are for the suppliers to present new products, promotions, things like that. Then we have various roundtables that meet once a month, whether it's a next generation committee. We do an estimator roundtable. We do a project manager roundtable. So we try to put a lot of information out, and we record those roundtables and webinars, and we put them on our YouTube channel because, we recognize during the week somebody may not be able to watch, but they can watch it later at their leisure.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to touch base with you and wish you a happy Independence Day. It's great to catch up with you. Again, been talking to Geoff Gordon, Executive Director with Fuse, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.